everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. For the video today, I am back with an update video, I guess. I haven't done a video in like nearly 3 months, which is definitely the longest break I've ever taken. I think maybe at most I might have taken like a month off here or there just when life got too busy, but it's been nearly 3 months, which I feel is crazy. It just started to snowball, me not doing videos, and I've really missed it. I don't think that anyone's been sitting at home missing my videos too much as I do like the positive feedback from people when I get it. I am well aware that, you know, I have a small channel, but I really enjoy this. I consider it a hobby and I've missed it, so I'm back. So I guess I just wanted to explain that. Please excuse if I seem extra awkward or extra like I don't know what I'm doing. I've got my little drinky with me here. I normally like Alani's, whether it's like the blue raspberry or whatever they call it, or the Kimade, but this one is Dream Float. I don't know what this is meant to be, like some sort of creamy orange, and I've never had anything like that before. Maybe it's like an ice cream or something that already exists, like that flavor combo, but I'm not a fan. I'm saying this while I'm still going to drink it, but yeah, it's a strange flavor combination. I'm tired though, beggars can't be choosers. And yeah, I guess I hope you have a coffee or tea or something to enjoy while I ramble for a little bit. I think I'll just catch up to speed and then we're gonna spend the day together. Yeah, it's the aftertaste that gets me there. I think the last video I put up was either a morning routine or like a vlog or something, just general, nothing too exciting, but at the time I did that I was preparing to go to Tasmania, which I might have mentioned I was very excited for, just a 2-week holiday, and I actually really thought I would do Tasmania vlogs and share all my experiences there. It was a really fun holiday and I'm really sad that I didn't do this. I tried to vlog, but I think even this pause from videos started a bit before then. There was just strange circumstances where each weekend was busy. I think I was trying to get like all my yard work done or heaps of housework stuff. Obviously I didn't need long to pack or prepare. It was just Tasmania and I live in like mainland Australia. I live in Brisbane, but there were just little things that got in the way and I didn't do videos. I think I only started vlogging there and tried very lazily for the first couple days and then fell off, but I'll either put in clips that I took for the vlog or possibly just pictures as I talk about it now. But we flew into Hobart first and just stayed there for I think a day or 2 days while we got set up, and we actually went to Australia's oldest pub, which was kind of fun and interesting. There's a lot of old buildings there and a lot of history, which is very cool. After that is when we started to travel. I guess a lot of Tasmania was remote compared to where I live in Brisbane, and I really liked that. There's a lot of different animals there, different plants, and I was actually really obsessed with the plants. There was so many different things that we don't have here, like moss on everything and so many ferns and just giant trees. After Hobart we drove to Russell Falls, and yes, I don't think I said we rented a car down there. Obviously that helped us travel around and made it possible. Russell Falls was great. It's also, I guess, Mount Field National Park is maybe the name of the place. We did a lot of little hikes. We did one big hike one day. This was in Mount Field and I wish I could remember the name. I want to say Tarn Shelf or Tarn Circuit. It was a 6-hour hike and I'd never done anything like it before. Prior to getting my health sorted, there's no way I would have been able to do something like that. After Russell Falls, we went to Strawn, I think is how you say it. That was a cute little town again. I don't know the main appeal and why we went there actually. Like, I think it used to be a main port of Tasmania or something, but we did a few little local things, tours. We went on a boat one day and a quaint little rail up the mountain another day. After Strawn we went somewhere called Carina. It was somewhere that was really remote. We had to catch some sort of barge with our car across to where we were staying, and then there was no reception at all, like obviously phone reception, no Wi-Fi, nothing. Carina was such a small place. It was surrounded by a whole bunch of walking trails and hikes, and I think it might have just been owned by the one place that basically ran cabins and the pub, and that's it. I think everything was run on solar panels, and it was all very eco-friendly, which I thought was cool. After Karina, we went back to civilization in Cradle Mountain, and that was probably the highlight of the trip for me. They've got a big conservation area for Tasmanian devils, and I think it's called Devils at Cradle, but we saw Tassie devils there, which was amazing. Another highlight in Cradle was the cabin we stayed in, and that was the first place, I think, in Tassie on the whole trip so far that actually had a bath, and I was so excited to have one. As much as I've spoken about these other factors so far, the main reason why we went to Cradle was for a hike, and we weren't sure which one we'd do. We only did a little 4-hour one. It was still very steep and challenging, some scrambling up rocks and holding onto chains to pull yourself up. Funnily enough, when we got to the top, we couldn't see a thing because it was so foggy. I kind of thought it might be that way since it was very cloudy and foggy on the way up, and then when we're at the top of the peak, it was just like looking into the abyss, which you might think would be disappointing. I actually thought it was kind of cool. Clouds did clear a little bit on the way down, so I got a sense of the view, and I've looked up pictures so I know what I've missed. And then of course the last stop in Tassie was Launceston. We were only there for one night, and Bren actually booked this cute, some might say tacky, but I don't think tacky is necessarily a bad word in my opinion. I loved it. It was not Brendan's cup of tea. And in Launceston we just sort of rested up and prepared to go home. On one day that we had there before we flew out, after we stayed one night, we did the local wineries and food places. We only went to one in the end, but it was still great. I feel like I've been talking quite a while about Tasmania. I'm gonna have to rein it in when I edit just so this doesn't go on for too long. But after coming back from the holiday, we were excited to see the dogs. I think that's one factor for us, and I'm sure if you've got dogs, or I was gonna say kids, I feel like people probably travel with their kids. I don't know why I was gonna say that, but if you've got pets and you come home, obviously you're excited to see them. So that was one thing why I wasn't sad about the trip being over. But also, coming home after Tassie, I was so excited because my older sister, who lives in the US with her husband and twins, was visiting. I haven't seen my sister prior to her visit in, I think, 9 years or something. It's been so long, partly obviously because of COVID, partly because of life things. Obviously she's had children and had never met the babies before, so I was so excited just to go on full auntie mode. We did all sorts of fun things while they were here. We went on outings to Australia Zoo and meals, and caught up with like my whole family as a group, which we haven't done in so long. Yeah, it's been a really long time since all of my family was together, so really nice memories were made, and I can't wait to see them again. But still, I'm so grateful for the time that I had. We did a lot of crying when my sister left because she was only for, oh shit, I just realized it's raining and I've got stuff outside that I've got to rescue. That's probably a good distraction that happened, the rain outside causing me to get up. Otherwise I think I would have been waffling on for hours. But those were two really exciting things, life events for the year. There was also something else that happened while my sister was visiting, and I'm not going to talk on too long, but as a recent Swiftie, and I feel like I could say that for a long time, I'm just going to tangent here and say I didn't think anything about Taylor Swift music. She was popular, I guess, or first started being popular when I was in high school, and I think she copped a lot of hate then. People were very anti-Taylor even back then because she was a successful young woman, and there were fans still obviously, but it wasn't cool to like her. I think maybe cool like it is now. I didn't think anything about her, but obviously her music, there's so much of it. I'd heard it always and thought it's catchy. And then something changed like 2 years ago where I thought, I like her music, but I don't want to admit it. I didn't hate her, I'd never really expressed hate, but it was just so different to any other music style that I think I'd listened to in the past. So I sort of had it as a secret thing to enjoy. And over time, I just realized I like her music, and then I realized I'm a fan, and that was still all. I didn't tell anybody. And then I realized I started saying to my husband and my sister, I'm like, you know, I really actually like some of her songs. I like her music. But the thing is, I would always counter me saying that I liked her music with, but I'm not a Swiftie. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a mega fan. And then lo and behold, I realized this year, or maybe at the end of last year, I am a big fan. I really love her music. All of this to say, I was excited for the Tortured Poets department. That was again something to look forward to after coming back from Tassie and just in the year in general. I love the album. I don't know how many times I've listened to it, but it is gonna be scary when I see my Spotify Wrapped. I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be that album. Now I know I've been talking on at length about all these great things, and I think I've got to get onto some tasks today, so I'm gonna wrap this up soon. But I want to share another factor here in why I haven't done videos and just catch you up to speed on my life. Obviously I've shared a lot of things that were great and amazing in this time, but the good times weren't going to last. I knew that I'd be sad when my sister and her family, like her husband and the twins, left. I knew I'd be sad, and I knew I'd be depressed. I'd have that lack of excitement after holiday, family, album. Not only that, not only did I have to deal with those things, but I also got COVID for the first time. I've skipped it for avoided it for 4 years. I really thought I was gonna be someone who just never got it. I thought my blood needed to be tested in a lab. I thought I was like the immune one. But no, I finally got it. I don't know if it was on the plane back from Tassie, since obviously, you know, I was around a lot of people, or someone else, I'm not sure. Luckily, my family didn't get sick. No one else caught it off me. It was just me this time. But yeah, it was very bizarre. I'm surprised that I finally got it now, and I'm also surprised by my symptoms. Probably because I had the vaccinations and the boosters. It wasn't that bad. For me, it just felt like a cold, and I was fatigued for a while. But it's very weird because I also had a flu shot right around the time that I started getting symptoms. I even told the doctor who gave it to me, I said, you know what, I actually think I am starting to feel sick. And they said, it doesn't matter, do it anyway. So I wonder if the symptoms that I felt were a little bit worse by those weird symptoms you get after like flu vaccine. I guess I'll never know. But that lasted about a week, and then this almost brings me up to current day, close to around the time that I started to feel better from coming off, you know, healing up from COVID. I had another weird health issue, and it's not something I'm going to talk about too much in this video because I've done a lot of sitting and talking already, but I had horrendous withdrawal or discontinuation symptoms after stopping antidepressants, which I've done videos on before. I've spoken about the Lexapro, and this is all the positive thing why I'm not taking it. And I stopped taking it with my doctor's advice. I took about a month slowly weaning off, and it was just a perfect storm, I guess. I had officially stopped taking it around the time that I stopped like feeling sick from COVID, and without any of it in my system. I had a few good days after COVID where I felt fine, but then I started to feel dizzy, and like my legs were numb and my feet were numb, and like I was gonna fall over. And at first I thought, this is weird, is it related to being sick? And then I sort of connected all the dots and realized it was the medication, lack of it in my system. My body was not happy. For a good week I suffered there really bad. Again, I think the next video I do is going to be talking about stopping antidepressants or Lexapro and my experience, because there's definitely a lot more to say. But yeah, I think I finally came good last weekend, so that catches you up to speed. Hopefully there's been really good things. I won't say really bad things, but you know, negatives as well, that has just kept me busy, whether it was through excitement and being away, fun, or not being able to talk or get out of bed, things as well. But hopefully I'm back on regular track of just working, being able to relax on my weekend and do videos as well as my chores. I'm doing a lot of reading still, so I've got lots to update there. In fact, I'm reading a paperback, and that might not seem a big deal for anybody, but I'm a Kindle girly. I love my Kindle. I always have my Kindle on me. I think Kindle is superior. I know I might get a little bit of hate for saying that, but there's obviously a hard copy, or like, you know, paperback, hard cover, whatever, looks nice. It's nice to have, but all of the pros on Kindle to me outweigh the cons. As much as I would love a little bit of a book collection, I don't have the space, I don't want the space, and that is maybe one area in my life where I feel like I'm a bit of a minimalist. It's just not practical for me to have heaps of books. I like the fact I can carry my Kindle. I like the fact that I can read at night and read laying down in bed. It's so much easier. I read so much quicker. But I'm back with a real book. I haven't read a real book, I think, in 2 years, like an actual physical book, prior to this, or the one before this. What this actually is the second in the Throne of Glass series. I'm sure some of you already know this, but last week I read Throne of Glass. I was lent it by my sister-in-law since she loves all the Sarah J Maas books and she's getting everyone to read them, including me, and I'm so surprised that I'm actually on the second one. I read Throne of Glass in like 2 days and now I'm on the second one. I decided I would see how I go. I'm not too far in, you know, just a couple chapters, but I did make a start. I'm going to read more today. I'm just so surprised that I actually read Throne of Glass and finished, since I know a lot of people who started and stopped. They didn't finish it. They don't think it's as good as other Sarah J Maas series. You know, everybody has their own thoughts in it. I know it's also a really well-loved series. Funnily enough, I put a post on Instagram about reading the first one, and 2 of my friends, who I haven't spoken to in a while, but 2 of my friends told me, oh, I'm reading the same one at the same time. So it's bizarre timing. There's something in the water with all of us 30-year-olds finally getting into Throne of Glass. But I enjoyed it. I liked the fact that I was able to read a physical book again, and I'm surprised I wasn't completely put off by the fantasy, or I guess romantasy element. It might be a different story if I get onto A Court of Thorn and Roses, since I hear those are very spicy, and I don't really like spicy books. It's not for me, but I also didn't think I liked modern fantasy, so I guess anything's possible. Like I said, I'm going to read more of it today, but I've really been branching out. Before this, I read Magnolia Parks, and I enjoyed that. I might read more from that series. So I've really done a little bit of different things here, like reading more, I guess, drama, romantic, and then this romantasy genre. And I'm surprised I'm enjoying it so much, I will say. Part of what prompted this is obviously the fact that my sister-in-law is telling me to read these books, and I've always heard about them, but I think I got a bit burnt out on the depressing thrillers. I've read way too many of those recently, so I'm kind of glad to give it a bit of a break, but I'm going to see how I go in the series. Actually, that's the final point I want to make here on why this is such a big deal for me. I obviously don't really enjoy modern fantasy, or I didn't think I did. I don't read paperback, and yet I've read a whole one pretty quickly at that, considering my work schedule, and I'm starting a second paperback, and it's a series. I don't really like series. I've never gravitated towards them, but maybe that's part of it. I've never really tried it, so maybe, I don't know. But I think I have chatted long enough. I still have a fair bit of this that I haven't drunk, and I don't want any more of it, so it's going in the fridge. But I think I need to get onto a few tasks today, so I'm going to bring you through the day and let's see what we get up to. I actually have one thing I want to show you, and it's the puppy dogs. You're not going to be prepared for what I'm about to show you. It's been a while since you've seen these little ones. Here is Macy. And then here is the Pixar lamp. Poor little Quinny is wearing a cone. I think it's the saddest thing in the world. He actually looks kind of comfortable there. I think by the way it's resting, his ears can go up. Sorry, honey, I know. When he sits normally, you can sort of see it there, his ears fold and he looks kind of like a puppy. I can't look at you in the eyes for too long, Bob. I know it's sad. We'll give you a break from it in a bit. The reason why little guy's wearing this, he's got a bit of a foot issue. No! Oh God. He's had a fall. Buddy, I had to pick you up and put you up there. You can't climb up on your own. He's got a bit of a foot issue at the moment, which I'm not going to show, but silly little thing, just keeps licking it and it's not healing, hence why he's all coned up. And this is what I had to rescue before. I normally have a rug here that I was cleaning Quentin's feet on with a bucket of salt water, and you can imagine what happens. It obviously got tipped and there was salt water everywhere. It was just like perfect, what I needed this morning to knock that over. I've moved all the furniture to stop the couches getting wet, subsequently hurt my back. but it's all good. The rug is cleaned and drying outside, and I have cleaned the floors very well, which probably needed to be done. That rug hasn't been washed since we bought it, and I don't think I've vacuumed under or mopped under the couches since we've moved in. Definitely something that you need to do, evidently, because the amount of hair under there was insane. This is your sign if you've got a couch or like chairs inside on, you know, hardwood, on lino or whatever, even carpet for that matter probably. Move it out of the way and clean under it. You'll be surprised what you find. But I think what we're gonna do, I'm gonna get the puppies outside, get them some time in the sun. Quinny feels like a little flower right now with his cone. I'm gonna give my little man some attention because this is just the saddest thing in the whole world. I feel like he looks like a puppy with his ears flopped down. I kind of hate to see it though, it's very sad. It's very sad, but you don't know how to stop looking. Alright, we're gonna make sure you're okay. Maybe give a break from the cone, huh? Alright, I have finished up some boring tasks and now I'm gonna have lunch. But before I do, I wanted to show you a few things. I have leftovers from last night. I went out to dinner with my sister in West End, and there's actually this all vegan Italian place called Nana's Nightmare. I really love it. We've been there many times. I've been with my sister and also my husband, and found out recently they are closing or relocating or something. I think they're temporarily closing. Anyway, we went to dinner since we wanted to get some food, since it'll be a while since we can go there. Anyway, that's my story. I've got some food for lunch today that's leftovers, but the point why I bring that up, when we were out, I actually also went for a walk with my sister after dinner and we came across Harris Farm. I've never been in there before. I've heard about it. It's basically like a supermarket, but things are a little bit more high-end, I suppose. They've got normal stuff too, but also some interesting things, and I found basically all of the vegan stuff that I couldn't walk away from. So I'm gonna show you that. I think they have a few locations, but I'm not 100% sure. This was my first time in there and I had an absolute blast. So I have some things that I already put away in the fridge last night, and then the rest has just been sitting in a bag in my room. But first up, also, yes, everything is junk food and sweets basically. There are some dessert cup things. It just says that they're triple choc, but it really looks like mousse and cake. These are by the brand The Green Lion, and I've never seen these before in other shops, but they look so good. And it says it's plant-based, the ingredients is all fine. Yeah, and I had to get two because I didn't want to maybe crack one open and share it with Bren and feel like I was missing out, so I got two, so we have one each, one of the mood strikes. And I've also got an ingredient. This is, yeah, maybe the most substantial thing that I got that isn't snack food. It is Fable pulled mushroom, or it says slow braised mushrooms. I'm pretty sure I've seen this in supermarkets a couple years ago and then it just disappeared. It used to be in like a black box, I want to say, but it's exactly what it sounds like, pulled mushrooms, but it's like pulled pork sort of texture. When I used to buy this, I always put it in pies and things, and I think it's just a nice texture. Obviously it's not like protein like I would use a fake meat or something, but it's just the texture that's so good and the flavor's really yummy. So I'm glad I have this. Again, I swear I used to be able to buy it at either Coles or Woolworths. I don't know if it was both, and then it just disappeared. So I saw this and had to get it. Okay, and then the other little things I got, I have some baklava. This is, it says walnut and cinnamon, but I love baklava. I haven't had it in a while. I feel like most of the time it's made with honey, so obviously I don't eat it. I had a look at the ingredients. Even though it doesn't say it's vegan on the front or the back for that matter, all the ingredients are vegan. For the sheer fact it just said walnut and cinnamon, I thought I'd have a look. For some reason I had a good feeling about it, and lo and behold, it is vegan. So I'm excited for this. It's a pretty big package. Maybe I'll take it into work or something to share, because I feel like I love this stuff, but I'm probably not going to eat a whole pack before it goes bad. I don't know, we'll have to see. Again, I'll share it with Bren, but I feel like we're just going to feel like two fat pigs if we eat all of this junk stuff too quickly. Luckily, everything else is stuff that's going to last a bit longer. I've got some chocolate. This is Loco Love, and I've had different chocolates from them before. I really love this brand. I want to say they're from New South Wales. I know they're Australian, but I just want to show you some of the packaging. I mean, the box itself is pretty. It's got like this gold foil print on it, but then look at that. It's like, it looks like a painting or something. I don't know. There's 2 in the box, and I think these packets are compostable. You know what I mean. Either way, amazing. I just feel like they're a bit more of a nice fancy chocolate. Sometimes I bought them in bigger boxes as gifts to Brendan or whatever, and the flavor I got is peanut butter caramel. From memory, I think it's kind of like a, not Snickers, picnic maybe, but either way, it's really nice. They've got so many different flavors. If you ever come across these, I heavily recommend. I haven't had a bad flavor from them. I just had to limit myself to getting one because I was clearly going crazy just grabbing things. Another favorite, I've got some Vigo. This is obviously a really big chocolate bar, by the way, but it is vegan chocolate, milk chocolate style. It's not too bitter or anything like that. And it's got whole hazelnuts in it, which is pretty amazing. You can sort of see it's kind of showing it there. Obviously, I'm not going to open it up since I'm going to put this in the cupboard and save it. I feel like some of this stuff I just got to stockpile and enjoy later when we want it. And then, very random, I also got apple crisps. It just looks like it's dried apple or something with cinnamon on it, but also looks really nice. So I've got that. The funny thing here is, as well, with buying all those snacks and things, I wasn't hungry at the time, so I can only imagine how bad it would be if I went into a place with different foods and ingredients, because there were some interesting ingredients like international sauces, spices, things like that as well, and yeah, just different stuff basically. I was looking at everything, wanted so much, and only grabbed the most random snacky bits, but I'm just gonna put these away in the cupboard, and then I'm gonna get my lunch and I'll show you that. So this is my leftovers. I feel like it looks kind of funny. That itself, plain brown food, I feel just never looks good, but it is like truffle and mushroom gnocchi, and also 1 piece of pizza. I split the leftovers with my sister, but I think this will be good. I'm starving, so I'm just gonna heat this up and eat it now. Maybe I'll have the pizza cold and heat up the gnocchi, but I am just gonna eat this first and then maybe have a salad or something later. It was really tasty last night. You're just gonna have to trust me on this. All right, I'm done with lunch now, and the dishwasher is running. I feel like it sounds kind of loud to me, but sometimes those sort of noises get filtered out by the camera, so I don't know if you can or can't hear it. Anyway, I'm sitting down and I'm just gonna read for a little bit. I had originally wanted to read outside, just on my picnic blanket in the sun. I think I've said before that's my favorite place to read. I did it last weekend as well actually, and it was such a nice day then. Today is very erratic with the rain and sun, and I guess the grass is wet, so I'm just gonna sit in here on the couch. I've got the pups with me so I can keep an eye on them and read for a little bit. So let's see how far through I get. Alright, so I've been reading for a little bit over an hour now, and I think I'm going to take a break here. And since it's not raining, again the weather's just been so all over the place today, I think we're going to go for a dog walk. I'm just going to take Quentin and Macy out for their afternoon walk. Alright, we're back from the dog walk, and normally what I would do after walking them is exercise at this point in the day. I've been running a lot lately. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen I do like a 5K run on the treadmill a couple times a week. Other than that, sometimes I do like weights or like an incline walk. Either way, I'm not going to be doing that today since I've done something to my shoulder, and I don't know what I've done, but it feels like it's like dislocated. I've never had a dislocated shoulder, but it just doesn't feel like it's in the right spots, and I don't know how this has happened. I've been picking up Quentin a lot since he's not feeling good, and like cleaning his feet, so I don't know if I've pulled my arm or done something weird taking care of him or like moving furniture today. I know I would have mentioned earlier today I moved all of this furniture out of the way when I dropped a bucket of water, so maybe pushing the giant sofa set out of the way hurt my shoulder, who knows, but it's very sore. One of the mysteries of life. I don't know why it hurts, but in fact even holding the camera with my right arm hurts, so that's not good. I'm just gonna take it easy is what I'm trying to say, and I'm gonna make dinner. I don't know what I want, and in fact I'm not even particularly hungry, so I'm just gonna do something easy like pasta.